Hey, it's Joe and welcome back to Humanfluence. Before we dive into today's video, I just want to let you know my book Solutions is 10% off for the holidays. It could be a great gift. Get it for yourself. Leave a review. I also have a few others. Echoes of Empire, How Rome Never Fell. Spirit Over Matter. Minefield. As well as Echoes of Past Lives and Lucid Keys, your ebook for lucid dreaming. Now, onto today's video. This is quite a sensitive topic, but I really want to tell you all about it because this is my life. And over the past almost 5 years as a deputy, I've learned a lot about myself and the world. You see, working as a deputy in the jail isn't just a job, it's a way of life. One that demands every ounce of focus, discipline, and resilience you have. Every day, stepping into an environment that's as challenging as it is unpredictable. Not just the physical environment, the concrete walls, the deafening slams of steel doors, inmates banging, the fluorescent lights that never stop buzzing. It's the atmosphere, thick with tension, desperation, and chaos. This place tests you in ways most people can never imagine. The truth is, a jail is its own world, and it's not pretty. There are gang fights that erupt in an instant, drugs smuggled in despite every effort to prevent it, and the constant presence of people who are mentally ill, many of whom are here because the state has shut down facilities that once cared for them. Now those responsibilities fall on us. We're not just deputies, we're mental health workers, mediators, crisis managers, and more, all rolled into one. It's not uncommon to see someone smearing their own shit on the walls, screaming incoherently, or masturbating in full view. And if you're on suicide watch, you might be watching someone do all of that, knowing it's your job to keep them alive, even when they're actively trying to harm themselves. The hardest part, you can't escape it. At some point, you still have to eat your lunch, often in the same environment. Imagine trying to eat while someone is smearing shit on the walls, or engaging in some other dehumanizing behavior. It becomes the norm. It's enough to test anyone's sanity. But in this job, you have to compartmentalize. You have to push through it and focus on the bigger picture. And then there's the belittlement. Inmates can be cruel. They'll find your vulnerabilities and exploit them if they can. You hear insults daily about your appearance, your family, anything they think will get under your skin. If you don't have thick skin, this job will break you. But if you do, you learn that none of it is personal. It's just part of the environment. For many inmates, this place has become a second home. Some swear up and down they'll never come back, but then there they are again. Sometimes for the same crimes. Others seem resigned to their fate, almost like they feel more at home here than in the outside world. And then there are those facing serious time. You can see the weight of the situation in every step they take. It's a constant reminder of the fine line that separates freedom from confinement. Despite all this, the job teaches you about yourself in ways you can't anticipate. It challenges your patience, your compassion, and your ability to maintain composure under pressure. It forces you to confront the darkest sides of humanity while still holding on to your own. There are days when it's overwhelming, when you question why you're there. But those moments are when you find out what you're really made of. This role has taught me the meaning of resilience. It's shown me the importance of setting boundaries, not just with others, but with myself. When you're surrounded by chaos, it's crucial to protect your mental health. You can't let the job consume you or it'll eat you alive. Most importantly, I've learned that the only comparison that matters is the one you make with yourself. In a place like this, it's easy to get caught up in judgments of others or yourself. But I have to remind myself every day that it's not about being perfect. It's about being better than I was yesterday. Am I stronger today? More patient today? More understanding? That's what matters. Being a deputy in a jail is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but it's also one of the most meaningful. It's not just about maintaining order. It's about being a steady presence in a chaotic environment. It's about showing up every day, even when it feels impossible, and doing your best to make a difference, no matter how small. You see, working as a deputy hasn't just tested me. It's revealed something about myself I never expected. For most of my life, I thought I was sensitive, an empath, someone who feels other people's emotions deeply. I figured that's why this job hit me so hard. Why I could walk into a room and instantly sense the tension, fear, or sadness hanging in the air. And trust me, that's the environment. But over time, I started to notice it wasn't just emotions I was picking up on. What I thought was just empathy turned out to be something more. That's when I realized I wasn't just an empath. I was a psychic medium. At first, I didn't know how to handle it. The constant flow of energy and emotions from the environment left me drained, confused, and overwhelmed. That's when I decided to take a psychic mediumship course. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect or even what managing energy really meant at the time, but I knew I needed clarity. The course was a revelation. It wasn't just about managing the overwhelming energy I was constantly absorbing. It was about learning to interpret it, trust it, and work with it. During the course, I discovered abilities I had no idea I possessed. We would do exercises to tune into images or objects, and I found that I could intuit names, feelings, memories, exact details that could be validated. It was surreal but also empowering. One of the most striking experiences was realizing how much of what I had been feeling at the jail was not just random emotion, but clear, directed impressions. The course gave me the framework to understand that what I was experiencing wasn't just my imagination running wild. It was real, and it had meaning. The energy at the jail, with its intense emotions and constant flux of lives, became like a training ground for these abilities. Every day, surrounded by extremes of human experience, anger, despair, regret, hope, sharpened my sensitivity. But the course helped me step back and protect myself from being overwhelmed. It showed me how to channel what I was picking up into something constructive, rather than letting it drain me. And trust me, some days it's still hard. But the course didn't just give me the tools, it gave me validation. It confirmed what I had always felt deep down but didn't fully understand until then. It connected the dots between my work as a deputy, my empathetic nature, and my growing awareness of something greater. Looking back now, it's clear that every step, every challenge I've faced was leading me to this realization. What began as an overwhelming flood of emotion turned into a journey of self-discovery, and now I see it as part of my purpose. Working as a deputy in the jail is like living in a microcosm of the real world, magnified and stripped of its masks. Inside those walls, everything is raw, heightened, and laid bare. You see the consequences of choices, the cycles of pain, and the resilience of the human spirit all playing out in real time. It's a world of extremes. Violence and vulnerability, chaos and stillness. A boring day is a good day. Despair and moments of unexpected hope. But the more I reflect on it, the more I realize that the jail environment isn't so different from the outside world. Out here, people are trapped too. Trapped in patterns, addictions, toxic relationships, societal expectations, and their own minds. The only difference is that the bars in the real world are invisible. Whether it's the inmate stuck in the cycle of crime or someone outside stuck in the grind of life, both are confined by something. The energy in the jail mirrors the energy in the world. Heavy, complex, filled with dualities. And just as in the jail, it's easy to lose yourself out here if you're not paying attention. What I've learned through my work and my journey as a psychic medium is that the key to breaking free, whether in the physical or in a spiritual sense, is awareness. Recognizing those bars, whether they're concrete or emotional, is the first step to liberation. The lessons I've learned in the jail aren't just about managing others, they're about managing myself. Staying grounded in the face of chaos, finding light in the darkest corners, and understanding that everyone is fighting battles we can't always see. It has taught me how to navigate this intense energy, and the psychic mediumship work gave me the tools to channel it. At the end of the day, whether we're in a jail or out in the world, we're all just trying to find a way to break free from fear, from cycles, from the things that hold us back. My time in this environment has shown me that while the world can be harsh, there's also hope, growth, and the possibility of transformation. And sometimes the hardest places are where we discover the most about ourselves. For those in service, whether you're working in law enforcement, healthcare, the military, or any other role that requires you to give so much of yourself, here are a few words of wisdom. Stay grounded in your purpose. Remember why you chose this path. Protect your energy. Service work can be draining. Learn to set boundaries and prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Don't take things so personally, whether it's anger, frustration, or belittlement directed at you. Hurt people hurt people. It's a reflection of what the other person is going through. Find moments of humanity, even in the most difficult environments. Lean on your team. You're not alone in this. The people you work with understand the unique challenges of the job. Support each other. Focus on growth, not perfection. Remember the bigger picture. Stay resilient. Find joy in small wins. And keep your integrity. Service is not just a job, it's a calling. It takes courage, sacrifice, and an immense capacity for resilience. But it's also one of the most rewarding ways to make a difference in the world. Never forget that your efforts matter, and you are appreciated more than words can express. Be a light, even in the darkest corners. Humanfluence, out.